Hello, I'm Papia. In this problem, we have an equation right here is 16y square minus x square equals 16. We have to first rewrite this equation in explicit form. Now, note that this equation itself is written in implicit form. Okay, so if we solve for y from the equation, then we can find the explicit form. So that is the first step. Okay, so take our equation 16y square minus x square equals 16. And our goal is to solve for y. All right, so keep the y term on the left-hand side and take everything else on the right. So we'll have 16y square is equal to, see the x square is negative on the left side, so when you take it to the right, it will become positive x square, and we already have a positive 16. Now let's divide by 16 both sides, and then we will have the y square free of any constant. So this is equal to x square plus 16 divided by 16. Okay, now this is very important. We have to solve for y, and this is an equation with y square. So how do we extract y from it? Of course, we take square root both sides, but remember, when you take square root, you will have a positive and a negative. So that's how we will get two different explicit forms from the implicit equation that's given to us. Okay, so y will be equal to plus or minus and the square root of the whole thing but notice that the denominator is 16 and it's 4 square, so square root of 16 is 4. So if you want, you can pull that constant outside the square root. And so we have our two explicit forms. One is y is equal to positive square root of x square plus 16 divided by 4. And the other one, y is equal to negative square root of x square plus 16 divided by 4. So those are the two explicit functions that we get from solving for y in the equation. Okay, next part is we have to sketch both functions and then we have to label them. So you can pick up a graphing utility and you can just plug in y1 to be the first expression and y2 to be the second one and graph it in the same window. And if you graph both explicit forms in one window, that will be the graph of the implicit equation that we had in the beginning. Okay, so let's do that. So first one, plug in square root of x square plus 16. Make sure that both terms are inside the square root. Divide by 4. And the next one is negative of the same expression. Okay, and then graph. And you see, so for the first one, y is going to be positive because square root can never be negative, right? So this is positive. See, if a 4 is positive, the numerator is positive. Therefore, the graph that you are getting on the upper half of y, that should be the graph of this positive portion. So you see we get a graph roughly like this passing through 1. So that graph is the one for y equals positive square root x square plus 16 over 4. Makes sense, right? And which graph will you get for the negative portion? Of course, it will be below x-axis. So it's symmetric to the one on the top. So it looks like this, and it passes through negative 1. And of course, this is all the y values are negative. So this one is the graph of y equals the negative square root x squared plus 16 divided by 4. All right, so we have labeled both graphs that is given from these explicit forms.